Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Here.
Dempsey.
Here.
Ford.
Here.
Fournier.
Here.
Crop. Here. Menzer.
Here. I need a motion to excuse Commissioner Button.
Motion to excuse Commissioner Button from today's meeting.
Support.
Roll call?
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menzer.
Yes.
Announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports. Do we have any?
Not today.
Okay, seeing none, I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Roll call?
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menzer.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, public participation is the time you may address this body. All we ask is that you give us your name, your residential address, and that you adhere to the 3-minute rule.
Josh Elger, 1349 Balmoral. I do want to say thank you to Lisa. She did reply to my request and did send me an acknowledgement of why I wasn't on housing. But it was pretty vague, and I'll let you know what it says. It says, I'd like to offer the following in response to your inquiries about your term on Housing Commission. Because the terms of the board are 5 years, I believe it is very long commitment to make consecutively, and there are others who are interested in serving. They should have the opportunity. That being said, I've been contacted by others who expressed interest in serving on the commission. That was it. The Housing Commission still does not have the position that was been open for the last 100 days. There's been an appointment. Then the letter starts to say about last year before the commissioner that was appointed, term expired. The one that was I questioned before that missed over 40% of the meetings, and he was reappointed. He came in for various reasons, came in to see her, had various reasons that he had, and I thought it would be best to keep him on the board, that the majority of the commissioners would not be new members given this crucial changes that were taking place. Very interesting. You know, you replace somebody that doesn't attend the meetings with let them stay. You get somebody that's been consecutive to show up at the meetings, been voted by his peers to serve as chairman of the board for that, and then I get replaced. But I guess that's how it has to be. But thank you for sending the letter.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain Street. I wasn't able to make the last meeting. Emergency came up at the last minute. But the meeting prior to that, we were talking about snow and, you know, cars on the street and everything. And I took umbrage when Commissioner Menzer and Mayor Dempsey made comments to the fact that, and it sort of directed me because she looked directly at me and stated that, you know, these guys are doing a good job and they work 24 hours and they are sleeping and stuff. I understand that. I support the guys. Don't get me wrong. I support them. I'm out there on the road while they're working. The point that's being made about the snow was the improper removal of the cars that are keeping them from doing their work on our streets. That's what it was about. It was not about the gentlemen doing their job. And I just wanted, you know, to say that, to make clarity. And so, you know, people looking at this meeting would say that, well, Ruthie said that, you know, you guys are not doing your job. That was not the case. It was about clarity. I understand they worked long hours, just like everybody else in the state that day. The next one is, we were out to dinner, not this past Friday, but the Friday before last. And I get a call from my girlfriend in Florida stating that, you guys can't drink your water? Your water is bad? I said, what are you talking about? And she says, well, you know, it's on our news here and on the, you know, website and everything that, you know, your water is bad in that area. And I said, well, we haven't heard anything here. And evidently, something came out the beginning of the month, and I was just wondering why the citizens of Mount Clemens weren't made aware prior to us hearing it on Channel 2, 4, and 7 on that Friday night and that Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none. No administrative responses. Approval of the minutes from previous meetings.
Move to approve the minutes of the work session, City Commission work session, and meeting on March 5th, 2018.
Support.
Okay, roll call, please.
Ford,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menzer,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes. Okay, on to general business. 9A, introduction and first reading of an ordinance regulating solicitation or standing in travel portions of the roadway. I need a motion.
Move to approve the introduction and first reading of the ordinance regulating solicitation or standing in traveled portion of roadway and set April 2nd, 2018 as the date for the second reading and adoption.
Do I have a second?
On July 27, 2017, the state enacted legislation overturning a July 26, 2016 Attorney General opinion that charitable solicitors could not stand in roadways. The legislation permits municipalities to place reasonable restrictions as to the frequency and location of such solicitations. However, it requires local governments that are enforcing regulations prohibiting roadway solicitations to bring those regulations into compliance. Based upon the foregoing, attached is a proposed ordinance regulating solicitation or standing in a traveled portion of roadway.
Are there any questions or comments? I'll go to the motion maker first.
We voted on this, what was it, last year? There was an issue, so the state has changed the rules, right? That's why it's coming before us and,
Right.
okay.
Well, there was an Attorney General opinion last year that said that you could not allow solicitations in public roadways. And that was in response to a number of, or certain groups who were rather questionable, who were soliciting in roadways in all the municipalities. That then proceeded to affect a number of the traditional groups that had solicited and had needed for their fundraising. And they obviously lobbied the state legislature, and the state legislature basically reversed that Attorney General opinion by saying you cannot prohibit charitable solicitations in the roadway. So that's what this ordinance is about.
Okay.
Can you, and I have read it, and this is for the audience, can you just have the nonprofits that are in your community, or is it
No.
open to anybody? Is the First Amendment rights, is that
Yes.
the whole thing?
Yes.
But we can restrict the corners, the areas where we allow it, correct?
Right, and the number of times you allow them to do it per year, the number of days they can do it, that's all in here.
Yeah.
And of course, they do have to be a charitable or civic organization, which is defined by the IRS and the Attorney General's, and a veterans organization that has tax exempt status.
Okay. I'm sorry, Denise, excuse me, Commissioner Menzer?
I was just looking at this on location restrictions on where it says unreasonably dangerous or otherwise inappropriate for solicitation based on factors, including but not, and we can cite those conditions to deny applications at certain points.
Which section are you referring to?
I'm looking at, right on page 7, the bottom one, 21.253, location restrictions.
Yes, okay. Yeah, we want to keep that flexibility. So, and by the way, Sergeant Gillespie reviewed this as well as administration. But we want that flexibility so that if the sheriff's department, for some reason, doesn't want solicitation at Cass and Main Street on this weekend, we can tell them you can't do it there. And same thing with the administration. You know, so it isn't wide open where the organizations are in effect telling us what corners they're gonna be on. But I presume, you know, the normal will be what we've had in the past, you know, the normal thoroughfares. But this does allow the flexibility to say you can't be in a certain intersection.
And this specifically says solicitation, but that does not mean that the Goodfellows can't sell the raspberry in the roadway, correct?
Yeah, they're a charitable
Okay.
organization, but they gotta get a permit, special events permit, like anybody else.
Okay, I'm good.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Fournier.
Yes.
Pratt.
Yes.
Menzer.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
9B, request approval to hold the McLaren Let's Move Festival of Races, April 28th, 2018. Need a motion?
Move to approve the McLaren Let's Move Festival of Races on Saturday, April 28, 2018, with the necessary road closures to be coordinated with the Public Services Department and public safety agencies.
Do I have a second?
Support.
Eastside Racing Company is seeking permission to hold the McLaren Let's Move Festival of Races on Saturday, April 28, 2018. The races would consist of a half marathon, 10K, 5K, and 1 mile fun run. The location of street closures for the races would occur in a similar fashion as last year's event. The races will be starting on northbound Gratiot and finishing on Market Street. The 10K runners will be bused to Lake St. Clair Metro Park and will run back into the city. Race day and after-race activities will be staged from Buffalo Wild Wings and the adjoining parking area and from the county property where the parking structure stood. If approved, a certificate of liability insurance naming the city as additional insured will be required prior to the event. The event organizer will also be required to notify all residences and businesses along the race routes of impending road closures. Additional information can be found by going to the festival's website at letsmovefestival.com.
Questions, comments? Who made the motion? Denise.
Oh, I did. I think I can maybe make the 1 mile fun run.
Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Pratt.
Yes.
Menzer.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
9C, approve purchase and payment of invoices.
Move to approve purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Support.
Anybody have any questions? Commissioner Menzer?
I just had a question about biotech ergonomics. I understand that the contract calls for mutual annual renewals. And I just wondered, because we increased it in year 4, skipped 5, now we're in 6, we're going to increase it again. I just wondered just what a dollar value, do we have a dollar value of what that increase is for the city? Like how many gallons do we usually get?
We don't know that off the top of our head. We can get back with you on that.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Menzer.
No.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Pratt.
Yes.
Consent agenda.
Move to approve consent agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
Support.
Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Pratt.
Yes.
Menzer.
Yes.
Okay, city managers report.
Budget books for the proposed 2018-19 fiscal year budget will be distributed to the City Commission the week of March 19th. As a reminder, budget work sessions will be held at 5 p.m. on Monday, March 26th, Tuesday, March 27th, and Wednesday, March 28th if needed. City offices will be closed on Friday, March 30th in observance of Good Friday. Refuse pickup will run on schedule. As an update to the media attention regarding the new statewide PFAS testing results, which reported trace amounts of substances in the city's drinking water system, City administration met with the Department of Environmental Quality, who has assured the city that the drinking water is safe. Anyone interested in learning more about the testing of the water system should contact the State of Michigan Environmental Assistance Center at 800-662-9278 or visit the website at michigan.gov/PFAS response. The compost program is scheduled to begin the week of April 2nd on your regularly scheduled refuse pickup day. Please do not place refuse containers or brown paper leaf bags out at the curb until the week of April 2nd. Any questions regarding yard waste pickup can be directed to the Department of Public Services office at 586-469-6847.
Questions? All righty. Commissioner comments. Commissioner Campbell?
I just have one quick announcement. Thank you for making the announcement about the leaf pickup, because people were already putting their bags and sticks out, and they were sitting there, and they were still sitting there. So April 2nd, 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Kraft?
I'd like to thank those who came out this week for my Commissioner Coffee Talks. We had a good turnout on Tuesday and on Saturday. It's always encouraging to see people come out and learn about what's going on in the city. Next month, I'm going to have a coffee talk date on April 10th, which is a Tuesday at 9:30 a.m., John's Family Grill, and then also April 21st. So that's the following Saturday, and that would be 9:30 as well at John's Family Grill. So I hope that you'll join me. I'd like to mention that the work session that we had earlier for goal setting, I'm very excited that the commission is taking up this, I guess you would say, this cause of setting goals for the next year and the next 18 months, and really taking a look at what we can attain, what we can do that's a reasonable goal for the next short period of time. And I think that will help the city move forward. And I hope that the next session, which should be our next work session, is fruitful. So thank you very much.
Commissioner Fournier?
Yes, tonight, or this week, we will receive our budgets and, or the first go-around, the draft budget for the 2018-19 fiscal year. And I think while a lot of it is mandated, legislated, and you can't do much about, there's probably some things in there where there is flexibility. And as I go through it for my first time on this side of the room, I would like to, we all have emails, and I would like to hear from the residents as to what they think is important and what are the areas that we should be focusing on from your perspective. I know I have my own personal ideas. You all know how I feel about sidewalks. But I would like to hear from all of you as well. And our emails are all open. So we have some workshops coming up, and I would like to have, if anybody can do that in the next week, that would be great. And I wish everyone happy spring. Thank you.
Commissioner Ford?
I personally like to thank Mr. Tingley for meeting with the River Acres people to try to work on bringing more playground equipment to Shady Side, and Mr. Emerson. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Menser?
The Sheriff Department is again offering the Law Enforcement Academy for seniors. It's free, takes 4 weeks, April 2nd, 9, 16, and 23rd. Running from 9 to 2 at the ISD on Garfield. You will have presentations and some tours from the Detective Bureau, the evidence technician, and I'll give a shout out to Jason Conklin, my brother-in-law, who is an evidence technician. The Youth Bureau, firearms, corrections, a special enforcement team, MACE, where another shout, my brother works in MACE. The Macomb Auto Theft Squad, you will meet some of the canine dogs, and Traffic and Marine Division. You'll get to tour the boathouse. So it's really informative, it's really fun. They, will give you a nice presentation, and you'll be able to answer, ask all your questions about how the Sheriff Department runs law enforcement, not only in this city, but in the county. So they want registrations. You can register at 586-307-9311. If you've been interested in law enforcement at all, it's really informative. And I just wanted to say that March 29th is National Vietnam Veterans Day. Take a moment to remember the 58,318 who died and who are commemorated on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Washington. There were 2.7 million service members who served in the Vietnam War. That wasn't a war. So thank a veteran when you see one that day. And that's all I have today.
Okay. I just want to remind everybody that our Clementine is going to be a week late getting out. Am I correct on that one, Lisa? Week. So it won't be the first week in April you'll see it. It'll be second week. The end of April, we'll be putting out a special Clementine with all of the bicentennial information for the rest of the year in there. So look for that. It'll have everything in there that we're planning on doing right through New Year's Eve. And that should be coming out, that will probably be coming out then May, right? My first or second week in May?
The
Bicentennial.
The end of April.
Yeah, the end of April, right, because there is, just to let everybody know, there's a day of what they call worship, they're calling it Day of Worship. May 5th is going to be open house for a number of our churches that are participating, and it's for the big bicentennial. Each church is going to have something special going on at their church, and it's going to be open to anyone. It's free of charge. So we want to get it out so we can get that information out to you also. But it will be on our website. But again, look for that publication because we're going to try to put everything into that publication so that everybody knows what's going on for the remainder of the year. So with that, I need a motion to go into exec session for discussion of collective bargaining negotiations.
Move to go into executive session for the reason of collective bargaining negotiations.
So I have a- roll call, please.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute recess. All right, need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.